Our first look at a deadly scuffle outside a Midtown bar. Why self-defense claims are now in question.
From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea!
Pro-Palestinian protesters hit the streets of Nashville. Why some say their message is lost in their tactics.
How frustrating was that for you, knowing that no one said anything to you? You had to say something first. You had to ask for an investigation. You had to ask for a report to be filed.
You know, it's hurtful.
A mother calling for change. Why she says school staffers failed her child. Fox 17 News at 9 starts now.
Middle Tennessee's only primetime news. This is Fox 17 News at 9, your Code Red station.
We start tonight with Operation Crime and Justice. A first look at the surveillance video of a deadly scuffle outside of a Midtown bar back in February.
Now, this all started with a rowdy patron who was escorted out of the bar, only to return and get into a scuffle with the same security guard who took him out first time. Well, the second time, the trip outside ended with a 26-year-old Hendersonville man in a coma from which he would never recover. It happened February the 18th at the Tin Roof on Demumbrian. The security guard, Richard Cornelius, was in court today facing an aggravated assault charge. More serious charges could follow, but today's hearing is about whether this case should move forward.
Mr. Cornelius, during the tussle, his leg struck the door frame.
And that was the result of Mr. Turner putting hands on him?
Yeah, that's the way it was explained to me, like a push and shoving kind of tussle, getting him out of the location.
This is surveillance video from the business next door showing the tail end of that tussle and the victim, Austin Turner, being punched as he was ushered out of the bar before going down hard and hitting his head. Cornelius, whose shirt was ripped in 2 places and suffered a leg injury, says it was self-defense, but there are questions.
During our interview, he gave some inconsistent statements, but I don't know that he's necessarily lying about the incident.
Did the defendant give you 4 different versions of events during your interview with him?
He did.
Bailey Silcox, a fellow security guard, testified Turner appeared to be intoxicated and refused to go quietly.
He was trying to make sure that he was going to get back to where he was wanting to go.
The defense argued Cornelius simply responded to being hit by Turner. But for this hearing, they were unable to overcome these 3 seconds of video showing Turner being hit from behind.
The court finds there's sufficient evidence to bind this matter over to the Davidson County Grand Jury. Next.
Austin Turner was in a coma for 16 days before he died. His father and stepmother were in court today and saw that video that you just did for the very first time. Their reaction to the video and what happened in court, we'll have that for you coming up tonight on Fox 17 News at 10.
And when someone is walking away, you would have to articulate why they would have the intent to harm you.
Continuing coverage of this case as security experts weigh in on video taken outside the tin roof. Richard Cornelius's attorney calls this a case of self-defense. Fox 17 News' Kylie Walker live in Midtown with what those experts have to say.
An emotional day in court with some new developments as well. It was the very first time that not only Austin Turner's family was able to see this video, but also the general public.
This new video showing the moment that Austin Turner leaves the bar, walking the opposite direction of the tin roof bouncer, Richard Cornelius, who prosecutors say swung at Turner more than once. And after watching the video, this is a move that local security trainer Blaze Lane does not agree with.
As a security guard, your main objective is de-escalation. And from the video, we see Mr. Turner walking away from Mr. Cornelius. And at that point, there is no intent of bodily harm or injury to Mr. Cornelius. So it would not be justified to strike Mr. Turner at that point in time.
Lane says when Turner walks away, he's essentially abandoning any disagreement they would have had, making it hard to prove the self-defense claim.
So in order to have justifiable self-defense, you must have the means, so the person has to have the ability to harm or injure, kill you, the opportunity, so they have to have access to you, and then they have to have jeopardy. Your life has to be in jeopardy.
But self-defense is what Cornelius's attorney says is exactly what happened here.
The situation is that Mr. Turner was removed once, he came back in a second time, and the distinction in demeanors between he was calm the first time he was removed, he came in hostile, and immediately started physically confronting Mr. Cornelius the second time.
Ben Powers calling it a good day for them in court.
We now know what's going on inside the bar that we don't see on camera, and that's a part of the story that just wasn't told before today's hearing.
But Lane says using the least amount of force necessary is the goal of any security professional.
Now, if you recall, last January, Dallas's law went into effect. It essentially requires Tennessee security guards to have additional training in several different categories, including first aid, CPR, de-escalation, and safe restraint. Now, Fox 17 News can confirm that Cornelius did in fact complete this training. For now, reporting in Midtown, Kylie Walker, Fox 17 News, your Red station.
New tonight, Nashville Mayor Freddie O'Connell filing his first budget proposal with the Metro Council tonight. It's a $3.27 billion budget focusing on some of the mayor's promises from his campaign, among them $30 million for affordable housing across the city. The budget also includes a 3.5% cost of living increase for Metro employees and proposes to invest $18 million for new textbooks for Metro schools. For a complete breakdown on this budget and what's in it, go to our website, fox17.com, and search for O'Connell Budget.
What's a nice day today. We topped off in the upper 80s this afternoon, and tomorrow will be a mild start to the morning as we start in the 60s here in Nashville. Mainly sunny skies expected. We have another warm day to enjoy. In fact, we'll be likely looking at our first 90-degree day of the year. Everything quiet downtown on Broadway this evening, and again, still pretty mild. Mostly cloudy to partly cloudy skies here with the temperature right around 76. Dry conditions for us as well. With a wide shot from our radar, you can see nothing here in Tennessee. The action continues to be in the middle of the country, and that's where we've had a lot of severe weather. Temperatures are mild for this evening, around 65 here in Nashville to lower 60s, even upper 50s in Murfreesboro, Columbia, Lewisburg, Tullahoma, sitting right around 60 as well. Coming up, we'll talk more about our unsettled pattern that looks to move in after tomorrow. Which days are looking best for rain here in Middle Tennessee? It's in your Fox 17 Code Red forecast.
A Metro school mother not happy with the staff at a local elementary.
Vacation at home sale at Family Leisure. Unbeatable deals on patio furniture, pools, shade solutions, spas, and more. Vacation at home sale going on now at Family Leisure.
Tonight in Crisis in the Classroom, a Metro school mother is sounding the alarm after her son suffers a serious injury at school, but she is never notified.
Well, that mother took matters into her own hands. Fox 17 News' Amanda Chin sitting down with that mom who's now pushing the district for answers.
No parent wants a child coming home from school with an injury. If they do get hurt, loved ones expect a call. But in this case, the mom didn't receive anything. Imagine bringing your child home from school thinking everything was okay, but then hours later noticing a mark on your child's face. That's what Shanika Sherrill experienced after picking her son Jace Middlebrooks up from Greenbrier Elementary in October of last year. Jace! Jace has autism and is non-speaking.
He's vibrant, he's energetic, like he's a ball of energy for sure.
Shanika says when she picked Jace up from school, he seemed tired, so she let him take a nap.
I tried to wake him and I couldn't wake him. And when I finally woke him, he was, he was lethargic. The pupils were dilated. I was, rubbing his head. I can feel lumps.
She examined his head more closely and realized something was wrong. So she immediately took him to the doctor.
I emailed the teacher and I was like, hey, did anything happen today? Did Jace fall? Did he hurt himself? She told me nothing happened. He could have nicked his head on a desk or something when he was having an episode.
The doctor told Shanika Jace had a concussion. So what happened? You can imagine Shanika's fear. She emailed the principal asking for an investigation. The answer this time with a completely different tone.
The principal responded and told me she would do an investigation, and she did. And in her investigation, she found out that Jace was assaulted by another student. He was kicked in the head by another student. And she told me basically the staff members that were there did not know they had to report it.
Shanika says the doctor could not pinpoint where the injury came from exactly, although she says Jace has headbanging behaviors. But if Jace was banging his head, she believes the paraprofessionals and teachers should have stopped him from doing that in accordance with his safety plan. The mother says Jace is supposed to have a one-on-one paraprofessional with him 95% of the school day.
How frustrating was that for you, knowing that no one said anything to you? You had to say something first. You had to ask for an investigation. You had to ask for a report to be filed.
You know, it's hurtful. It was hurtful. It scared me. It put fear in my heart, and it also made me want to, just keep my son home.
Jump, JJ.
Shanika says this isn't the first time an incident happened. Last school year, medical records show Jace had a hemorrhage in his eye. While she received a call, Shanika says a report was never filed. Fox 17 News was able to obtain an email the principal sent to staff, emphasizing expectations when it comes to reporting injuries and communication of injuries. The email says in part, if at any time you see a child physically aggressive with another child, hit, kick, pull hair, etc., it must be reported by you directly to the teacher. This is any child.
I feel like they could have communicated better. They could have did a incident report without me asking. They could have called me when the incident happened. They could have given him aid. I trust them to do their job and to report these instances accurately, appropriately, and timely.
We reached out to Metro Nashville schools and asked if there are checks and balances in place to make sure these communication issues are reported and documented in the future. A spokesperson tells us due to pending litigation, the district is unable to comment.
If you were notified the parent to let them know when it happened, we wouldn't be in this position right now.
Jace is now at another school.
Are you happy?
Shanika tells me she had no other choice.
Come on, Way.
And would do anything to protect her son.
This mother hopes by speaking out, schools can take a closer look at mechanisms they use for reporting and documenting incidents at school, especially for incidents that happen in special education classrooms where sometimes the students aren't able to speak for themselves. Reporting in the studio, I'm Amanda Chin, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Crisis in the Classroom is Fox 17 News' commitment to exposing problems in our schools and finding solutions.
If you have a story you'd like to see us cover, send an email to news@fox17.com, or you can phone our tip line. You see the number at the bottom of the screen, 615-266-4149. And I'd like to call the weather department and report heat and threats.
Yes, tomorrow another warm one. Today we had 87.
It was warm.
It was warm. Not too humid, wouldn't you say?
No, from the grand scheme of things, not bad.
Didn't feel too bad? Yeah, it really wasn't. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't humid outside. Warm, but we'll call it comfortably warm. Can you say that? Yeah. Tomorrow, another warm one will be near 90 tomorrow here. So we could reach 90. And if we do, it could be a record, or at least tying a record. And we'll talk to you about our unsettled pattern ahead. Tomorrow the forecast is 89 degrees. If we hit 90, it'll be the first time that we've seen 90 since 1901 on May 2nd. May 2nd's record is 90, and that was in 1901. So we could at least tie a record if we hit it. Thursday, right around I should say at 10 o'clock, up to about 78. We're at 86 as we head into the afternoon hours. Mainly sunny skies. A little bit of cloud cover starting to roll in through the afternoon and the evening. That is setting the stage for our next rain chance, which will arrive on Friday. Scattered showers by Friday morning. Will be around, and that's the way it'll be as we head into the weekend too. Saturday, Sunday, and into Monday, some pop-up showers and thunderstorms possible for us. These will mainly be non-severe. It's possible we could have one or two pop-ups. But as far as we're expecting any organized severe weather, that doesn't look to be the case for us here. So scattered thunderstorms, few could contain some heavy rain, maybe some gusts up to 40 miles per hour, but most of these should be below severe limits. So let's walk you through future track here Thursday night into early Friday morning. You can see those showers starting to fill in. By Friday morning, here's some moderate to heavy pockets of rain off to our west. As we get into the afternoon, we may get a break from around 1, we'll call it. A few showers throughout the middle of the day, but then as we head into Friday evening, 5, 6, 7 p.m., more showers building in. Pretty busy day downtown on Friday, too, especially with the Preds in town, Morgan Wallen down at Nissan Stadium, Sounds game going on as well. And we may be dodging some showers out there for the evening. This is 8 p.m. and hopefully we'll see those showers clear. But I would say that our chance for rain does linger into early Saturday morning, with then some pop-up showers and thunderstorms possible going into Saturday afternoon. 64 for tonight. It's going to be a mild one with a mainly clear sky as we head into tomorrow. Look for that temperature to jump to about 89 degrees, so slightly warmer than where we were today. Coming up, we'll talk more about your weekend forecast and how, on average, we fare as far as temperatures go for the month of May. It's in your Fox 17 Code Red forecast.
I'm Christine Frizzell on Capitol Hill, where GOP lawmakers are sounding alarm bells about a program that's bringing hundreds of thousands of migrants into the country, courtesy of the U.S. government.
I'm Fox 17 News This Morning anchor Erica Glover. There are some health experts that say lowering the recommended age for regular breast cancer screenings for women is okay.
Present the Federick Estate in Franklin, Tennessee. An updated 5-bedroom brick home in a sought-after location backing up to a private lake. Saturday, May 4th, 10 a.m. Conducted by James R. Cash, auction style.
Well, tonight, the Biden administration's humanitarian parole program, which brings migrants from 4 countries here to the U.S. to live and work, is getting some heat from inside the Beltway.
Fox 17 News' Christine Frizzell explains what critics are most upset about, and you can let us know what you think by scanning the QR code that will appear on your screen during our story.
The vast majority of migrants who show up at our southern border get here by human smugglers who are paid thousands of dollars to help them along the way.
These smuggling organizations are using social media and just reaching out across the entire world and lying to them and telling them that it's easy, lying them and telling them that they will come here and they will be granted asylum, they'll be allowed to stay in the United States.
In part to deny those smugglers more business, the Biden administration implemented a new strategy early last year, bringing migrants from 4 countries here with the help of the U.S. government.
We have a Cuban, Haitian, Nicaraguan, Venezuelan parole program.
The House Homeland Security Committee just releasing some shocking numbers from that program, showing just between January and August of 2023, nearly 200,000 migrants were flown into the United States, with estimate that since then, the numbers have doubled. Of those, about 80% were sent to cities in Florida.
When you see as the hundreds of thousands coming in from these countries, most cases unvetted, and then just transferred into the inner United States, that's a big problem.
But critics say Congress had the opportunity to fix that problem with bipartisan border legislation and bound to pressure from Donald Trump to block it.
It would have tightened asylum standards to stop exploitation of the asylum system. It would have surged enforcement resources to the border. And it wasn't just voted down by Senate Republicans, it was denied even a debate.
A new Gallup poll showing for the 3rd month in a row, immigration was named as the most important problem for Americans, and maybe one of President Biden's biggest obstacles to winning re-election. President Biden did just announce a new joint agreement with the president of Mexico. Both leaders have vowed to implement new concrete measures to significantly reduce the number of irregular border crossings while still protecting human rights. In Washington, I'm Christine Frizzell.
During that story, we had a QR code up that would link you to a poll asking whether you think the Biden administration should end the program of flying migrants here to the U.S. and cities in states like Florida. The results show with 728 people weighing in, no surprise here, almost 92% say yes, they should dump that. And 8.1% say no, our thanks to all those who voted.
Campus 7,000 quality checks in a typical hour.
They really take pride in what they do.
Like us.
This Fox 17 newscast is sponsored by B.F. Myers Furniture.
New tonight, a pro-Palestinian. New tonight, a pro-Palestinian rally along West End. You hear the loud voices. The marchers walked from Centennial Park down the street and then across to the other side onto the Vanderbilt University campus. As Fox 17 News' Caitlin Miller shows us, this group included both students and workers.
Chants from pro-Palestine protesters while they marched down the street. And on Vanderbilt's campus, Sudep says the group Palestine Hero Collective organized this march.
Yeah, so the goal of this evening is really to show solidarity between community groups as well as student groups in sort of demanding an end to the genocide happening in Palestine right now.
Sudep says they brought flags, wore masks, and honored the symbol of Palestinian resistance. And he says to fight for student groups at Vanderbilt and across the country that are being oppressed by their universities.
This is a way for community grief to happen. Like 34,000 people have died. Many of our people in Nashville are Palestinians, have family members who have been murdered in Palestine.
Some disagree with this movement.
You're a hater!
Fox 17 News reached out to the Jewish Federation of Greater Nashville to see how they feel about this march.
We absolutely support freedom of speech. We support the right to protest. We have sometimes ourselves been on the front line of protest. And so we absolutely see that as a right and an important fundamental piece of our society.
The Jewish Federation says they support peaceful protests, and this march was peaceful.
Students at Vanderbilt still have their encampment on the campus as their way of protesting and showing their support for Palestine.
Well, Congress passing an anti-Semitism bill tonight to rein in rhetoric against Israel and Jews. The vote comes as college protests have crippled campuses nationwide. Fox 17 News' Matt Gelka reports on the crackdowns after campus tensions boiled over.
Columbia University was a virtual ghost town Wednesday morning after nearly 2 weeks of protests that crippled the school with chaos. The NYPD moved in on anti-Israel protesters occupying a university building overnight. Video shows officers in riot gear clearing Hamilton Hall. More protesters clashed with police at City College about a mile away in New York. The NYPD took down a Palestinian flag and restored the American flag to a campus flagpole there. Around 300 people were arrested between the two incidents. The mayor says the protests were taken over by outside agitators.
They were those who were never concerned about free speech. They were concerned about chaos. It was about external actors hijacking peaceful protests.
More clashes on the West Coast. UCLA called for police after pro-Israel counter-protesters confronted the school's pro-Palestinian encampment. And at the University of Wisconsin Wednesday morning, police dismantled the encampment after protesters were warned they were in violation of school code. On Capitol Hill, Republican senators railing on the Democratic response to the protests.
It just goes to show you that even old people can suck.
Louisiana Republican Senator John Kennedy arguing the president could have stopped the demonstrations if he wanted to.
President Biden is scared to death to alienate the Hamas wing of the Democratic Party.
Democratic leadership in the Senate didn't address the campus crackdowns directly.
I have made my views clear. There's no place for violence or anti-Semitism.
Some House Republicans toured an encampment at George Washington University in D.C. on Wednesday and plan to hold a hearing next week investigating reports that D.C. police refused to help clear protesters from campus. Reporting in Washington, I'm Matt Gelka.
Happening now for the first time in 13 years, people here in the mid-state are starting to report cicada sightings. Millions of brood 19 cicadas, the largest geographic brood in the U.S., are emerging across the southeast. Now, according to Cicada Mania, a website dedicated essentially to all things cicada, a nice warm rain can trigger this brood's emergence. We certainly have had that of late. The website says these cicadas come out after the trees grow leaves. We've got that. And it goes on to say it happens about the same time that iris flowers bloom.
Gearing up for Game 6, the key to the Preds keeping their playoff run alive.
I'm Fox 17 Chief Meteorologist Katie Morgan. If you're new to Nashville at this point of foul play,
there is no evidence to support foul play.
Fox 17 News at 9, digging deeper into local stories that impact you.
This Fox 17 newscast is sponsored by Eurostone.
Down 3-1, and we actually felt like we played two pretty good games in Nashville. But it doesn't really matter, right? We didn't get the win, so we knew nothing's going to be given to us. We gotta step up.
Preds able to stay alive and force a Game 6 against the Vancouver Canucks, which now sends this series back to Smashville. But just like Roman Josi said, nothing is going to be given to the Preds, and that's been the case in this unpredictable first-round series. Not only have both teams lost twice at home, but last night also marked the first game where the team that had the most shots on goal actually won the game. It's been a weird series. However, head coach Andrew Brunette said he thinks his team is getting better and better every game. Now they just need to put it together at home.
It's one game. Enjoy it for tonight and get back to work. There's a ton of work to do here, and we just want to have that mentality. Just try to go home and play our best game and give ourselves the best chance, and we'll see what happens.
You know, you got to be a desperate team. We got to be desperate. Next game, we're still facing elimination. They want to close out in Nashville, so. Yeah, it's just how playoffs work. I mean, momentum is big, but at the same time, you got to find a way to play even better the next game, and we got to do that next game to get another win.
It's been a fun 24 hours for the Preds, but especially the captain. Not only did Roman Josi score the power play goal last night, but today he was named a Norris Trophy finalist, one of 3 finalists. And that's given to the best defenseman in the league. And right there you can see his stats speak for themselves. This is the 3rd time, by the way, that Roman Josi has been nominated as a Norris Trophy finalist. Well, we are still several months away from the college football season, but already the Vols sell out on tickets for the upcoming football season. Yes, I'm talking about 2024, and I'm talking about all 70,500 of them gone. Clearly, head coach Josh Heupel doing something right on Rocky Top, because this is the 2nd straight year they've sold out of tickets before the summer even started. The Vols, by the way, led all of the SEC last year in total home attendance. They also ranked 3rd in the nation in that category as well. Tennessee will open up this season August 31st against Chattanooga. We'll be here before you know it. Jill Johnlick, Fox 17 Sports, your Code Red station.
Jill, thank you. Obviously, this is one the fans are fired up about. The question from us tonight: do you think the Preds will win on Friday, take care of business, and force a Game 7? 276 people weighing in, and we've got the goal behind this thing. 59.4% say yes, we think they're going to do it. The poll's live right now. To cast your vote, scan the QR code right there on the right-hand side of your screen. It'll take you to the Fox 17 X page, and we will update the results coming up tonight on Fox 17 News at 10.
I believe in the catfish. It's going to happen. We are looking ahead here to May. We'll talk about not only your first weekend of May, but how we average as far as temperatures go.
And new legislation has minors behind bars serving in adult centers once they age out of the juvenile system. But will it work? An opposing attorney.
News. Celebrate local heroes with Fox 17 News Hometown Heroes. Sponsored by Ponce Law. This Fox 17 newscast is sponsored by Ponce Law.
In Operation Crime and Justice, Fox 17 News taking a deeper look at the juvenile justice reform. A bill just passed by Tennessee's House and Senate will force some juvenile offenders to serve time in adult prison after their time in juvenile hall. Joining us now is Jasmine Ying Miller, attorney for the Youth Law Center. Jasmine, thanks for being here tonight.
Thank you for having me.
So you testified before lawmakers about this bill. What are your concerns?
I I think our biggest concerns are that this bill, while it is packaged as something that will provide additional rehabilitative options for young people, is really punitive and I think counter to what we need to be doing to help our young people and our communities be safer.
Well, in your opinion, is this change warranted? Do the crime rates back it up?
So I think our data from the Tennessee Commission on Children and Youth, as well, which is data that is sourced from the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, actually shows that crime committed by young people has decreased over the past several years, and that we aren't really seeing a large spike in crime. That's not to say, of course, that crimes aren't happening. Of course, when there are victims, it's important to make sure that they are protected and our communities are held safe. But to the extent that this bill is pitched as a response to a crime wave, I don't think that we are seeing those numbers borne out in our crime statistics.
Well, lawmakers certainly have forged their path forward with their reasons wanting to go in this direction. What is the answer from your point of view here to deter juvenile crime? And what is the answer? How do we resolve it?
I think that is a really complicated question. I think one of the things that, we actually did a whole report in February with a lot of different recommendations for things that we could be doing to improve Tennessee's juvenile justice system and to lower crime. A lot of those recommendations were actually focused around making sure that we were adapting successful service models and programs that we already have in Tennessee that work more closely with families to help them improve their parenting skills, improve their relationships with their young people, and also improve their relationships with schools, with the court, and other service providers to help youth stay on track and make sure that they are being appropriately supervised. I think that this, the amount of services really depends on what part of the state you're in. And so I have heard concerns in different parts of the state regarding particular gaps around adequate probation supervision for young people. One thing that's really important is that, when we think about crime in general, there's not a one-size-fits-all solution. And what I would have hoped that the legislator would have done is to take some time to actually go through our data and think about, where are the particular places where we are seeing certain types of crimes, what are the specific things that we could be doing to address those specific types of instances instead of painting with a really broad brush.
A lot of opinions on this. Jasmine Ying Miller, attorney for the Youth Law Center, thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thank you.
In weather news tonight, tracking what may be a significant shift in our weather patterns. April is traditionally the most active month of the year for tornadoes in our region. But as Fox 17 News' Brett Luna shows us, that may be changing.
Well, historically speaking, March, April, and May are the most active tornado months right here in Middle Tennessee, and April is the most active of them all. This is data from 1811 to 2023. In March, we've had 166 total tornadoes, 213 tornadoes in April, and 173 in May. So usually it's the springtime that we're the most active, and then we start to slow down as we go into the summer and in the winter months. In fact, the deadliest tornado outbreak that we've had here in Middle Tennessee, that was in April 29th, 1909, 115 years ago. 12 tornadoes that day, 62 deaths, 200 injuries with that as well. But things this year really aren't shaping up how we kind of expect. In fact, the National Weather Service office here in Nashville hasn't issued a single tornado warning so far this year. The last tornado warning that they issued, that was last December. Interestingly enough, over the past 12 years, so from 2012 to right now, December is leading the charge as the most active tornado month. We've had 35 tornadoes in the month of December, 35 in December over the past 12 years. So December is in first place, and you might remember those December 9th tornadoes that we had last year. That was a long day. We had 7 tornadoes that day. Unfortunately, caused a lot of destruction across Middle Tennessee. And for April, it's now fallen to the 8th spot with only 10 tornadoes reported in the past 12 years.
All right, we got some weather on the way.
Yeah, going into tomorrow night. About this time tomorrow night, in fact, we'll probably be tracking some rain on the radar. Till then, we have a nice day to enjoy.
Enjoy it while we can.
Well, nice, I guess it depends on if you like the warmer weather. Because we're looking at 90 for tomorrow, most likely. I went with 89 just because I don't want to forecast 90 yet. It's a little early, but it's possible as we head into tomorrow here. And our averages for May are nowhere near 90. In fact, they're in the upper 70s for the first of the month, and by the end of the month, those averages are around 84 degrees. So we are looking a little warmer than average over the next several days with these temperatures hovering in the 80s. Beautiful shot here downtown. Again, quiet for now. As I mentioned, that warm day tomorrow, we should be around 89. It could be the warmest day of the year if we hit that 90-degree mark. And temperatures, again, look to be in those 80s all the way into next week. Lower 80s with showers and thunderstorms around Friday through Sunday, and looking at low to mid 80s possible for the early part of next week, too. I mentioned that it's a little early to see 90-degree weather. Our average first 90-degree day isn't until later in May, so we're a good almost a month ahead here. Earliest is April 25th, and the latest that we've ever seen a 90-degree day in a year is July 5th. So again, we're a little ahead of schedule for this year if we hit that 94 tomorrow. Temperatures for tomorrow morning, at least with this relatively dry air around, will start in the upper 50s to around 60 degrees and will warm quickly as we head towards 9. Just a few hours later, we're closer to 70. All the while looking at mainly sunny skies throughout the day. And I mentioned the drier air, so still feeling relatively nice here, with those dew points hovering in the upper 50s, close to 60 degrees, but still feeling, we'll call it comfortably warm. It'll feel hot, but it won't feel oppressive or sultry, if you will, with the humidity well up there. That we have a little bit of time to get used to as we head more into late May and into June. Kentucky Derby this weekend, temperatures will be in the 70s up in Louisville, and it looks like right now that we have a chance for rain off and on throughout the day on Saturday from 12 noon all the way through 5, 6 o'clock in the evening hours. Shouldn't be a rain all day type of thing, but pop-up showers will be possible with those temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Again, mentioning those 80s, the story for us all the way into next week. A relatively unsettled pattern here. We have a front coming through on Friday night into Saturday, and then some pop-up showers possible through the weekend. These will be kind of summer-like, where severe weather really isn't a big factor for us. It's possible we could find a strong thunderstorm or two, but organized severe weather not going to be the case for us. Could find a few gusts of wind up to 40 miles per hour.
Well, this Kentucky man paying a heavy price for a bad decision that he made on a Tennessee lake. Who else is paying for that decision?
The Modular 2 at Rooms to Go.
This Fox 17 newscast is sponsored by Mac Pest Control. Fox 17 News Farrier Files is sponsored by Bart Durham Injury Law.
New tonight, a Kentucky man is sentenced to 8 years in jail after pleading guilty to killing a child in a drunk boating accident last year in East Tennessee. 62-year-old Norman Sturgill of Grayson, Kentucky, was piloting his boat while under the influence on Norris Lake north of Knoxville last July. Sturgill's 19-foot bass boat collided with a larger boat near the marina. The collision killed 12-year-old Connor Catlett and injured several others.
Meantime, the Franklin Police Department's headquarters on Columbia Avenue put a very visual display up tonight. Take a look at this. In honor of National Police Week and Peace Officers Memorial Day later this month, the building will be lit up in blue each night throughout the month of May. The police department says the blue lights are a symbol of solidarity with our brothers and sisters from law enforcement agencies here at home and across the country. The police chief says the lights are a representation of all who have given the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty.
Just ahead, treatment instead of jail time. How Metro Police are teaming up with a mental health cooperative to reach out to people in crisis.
And my settlement was 10 times more than the insurance company offered.
Don't let an accident wreck your life. Call Ponce Law, Justice for All, 615-244-4321.
In your community tonight, expanding care for people facing mental health crisis.
This is good news. The idea is to get those people the help they need instead of essentially taking them to jail. And Metro's West Precinct is now teaming up with a mental health co-op to help make that happen in their area. This partnership will help police in the field who are responding to calls that involve mental health issues. The partnership will provide timely intervention, de-escalation, and access to mental health treatment.
So to have the resource right here at the precinct is going to actually help us to increase our ability to provide the proper services for those experiencing a behavioral health crisis, because they're going to get the resources faster.
Well, MNPD says the behavioral health specialist will now be dispatched along with officers when a mental health expert is needed in all 8 precincts across the city.
I'm Kayla Gaskins in Washington. Coming up, why former Biden administration officials were here to testify on Capitol Hill.
It is a courageous journey out of domestic violence. I'm Liz Bonus. See the pictures that literally changed her life. It is just ahead.
This is Fox 17 News at 10, your Code Red station.
New tonight, dozens of pro-Palestine protesters in Nashville rally and march in parts of Midtown. It was announced on social media by the Palestine Hurrah Collective, a Nashville-based advocacy group.
Fox 17 News' Caitlin Miller joining us live along the West End with more on the rally and reaction from the Nashville Jewish Federation. Caitlin.
Yes, well, the pro-Palestine marchers were a group of students and other people in the community standing together, they say, to show their solidarity for Palestine. Now, we were at this march earlier today, and it started downtown at Centennial Park, walked their way down West End Avenue, and ended up on campus at Vanderbilt. One of the protesters, Sudup, says the group Palestine Hurrah Collective organized this march. Sudup says they brought flags, wore masks, and honored the symbol of Palestinian resistance.
Yeah, so the goal of this evening is really to show solidarity between community groups as well as student groups in sort of demanding an end to the genocide happening in Palestine right now.
And he says to fight for student groups at Vanderbilt and across the country that are being oppressed by their universities. Now, we spoke with some of these students at Vanderbilt today that currently have an encampment to show their support for Palestine. They say that the university is still allowing them to do so as long as they remain peaceful. Reporting live from West End, I'm Caitlin Miller, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Operation Crime and Justice, an aggravated assault charge against a security guard at a Midtown bar who struck a rowdy patron leading to his death, is now in the hands of a Nashville grand jury. In court today, we got our first look of video from that incident. It happened on February 18th outside the Tin Roof Bar on Demumbrian Street in Midtown. 26-year-old Austin Turner was asked to leave. He came back to the bar, got into a scuffle with security guard Richard Cornelius. That led to Cornelius pushing Turner out the front door and then hitting him from behind. You see it right there on the video. Turner fell and hit his head and died 16 days later. Turner's family saw that video for the first time today in court.
We were not ever going to talk to him again. We never got to verbally speak with him again. He never opened his eyes again for us after that moment. It's tough.
The security guard, Richard Cornelius, says Turner ripped his shirt and hurt his leg in the scuffle. He's claiming self-defense. A grand jury will determine whether this case goes to trial.
Continuing Operation Crime and Justice, the claim of self-defense will no doubt be the focus of this case as it moves forward. Prosecutors say the video shows Richard Cornelius swinging at Austin Turner several times before Turner hits the ground. Fox 17 News talking to security experts about what this means for Cornelius's claim of self-defense.
As a security guard, your main objective is de-escalation. And from the video, we see Mr. Turner walking away from Mr. Cornelius. And at that point, there is no intent of bodily harm or injury to Mr. Cornelius. So it would not be justified to strike Mr. Turner at that point in time.
Well, Cornelius's attorney says this piece of video does not tell the entire story. He claims Turner was the aggressor inside the bar.
Out the door tomorrow morning will be a mild one. After seeing a high of 87 today, we will likely best it tomorrow by at least a couple degrees. Forecasting 89, but could see 90. As far as temperatures go, though, we'll be in the morning in the 60s, starting off in the low 60s here in Nashville with a mainly clear sky. Dry air in place will allow us to jump from the low 60s to the upper 80s for the day. It's quite a climb for that amount of warmth for this time of year. Temperatures tonight again hovering in the city centers. Will be a little bit warmer here in Nashville, around 65. Mount Juliet around 62. Smyrna, Murfreesboro sitting in the low 60s to even a few upper 50s on the map. Clear skies in Dover, Clarksville, Dickson, and Waverly all around 61 degrees. Centerville at 58. Linden around 61 with Waynesboro at 61 degrees also. Upper 50s for Fayetteville, Winchester, Tullahoma, Spencer right around 58 degrees. Mainly clear skies also for Cookeville, Crossville, looking at temperatures in the upper 50s, as well as Smithville and Carthage. We'll talk more about the unsettled pattern that looks to move in beyond tomorrow. We'll time it out in your Fox 17 Code Red forecast.
Thank you, Katie. New tonight, a growing number of local election officials report being threatened, harassed, and abused because of their work. According to a new poll just out from the Brennan Center for Justice, 38% of American election officials who were polled report being mistreated. That's up 8 points from last year's study. Poll workers say threats are most often made either in person or over the phone.
I'm Kayla Gaskins in Washington. Coming up, why former Biden administration officials were here to testify on Capitol Hill.
I'm Fox 17 News This Morning anchor Erica Glover. There are some health experts that say lowering the recommended age for regular breast cancer screenings for women is okay.
The Big Bang Theory. Tomorrow at 6 on Fox 17.
This Fox 17 newscast is sponsored by Tennessee Home Buyers.
Covering the Capitol tonight, former Biden administration officials testified in a GOP-led hearing in the House today about messaging on the COVID-19 pandemic.
Well, Fox 17 News' Kayla Gaskins laying out allegations against tech companies like Facebook censoring the release of information.
Do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury?
Most of the GOP's evidence presented in Wednesday's hearing came from internal Facebook company emails obtained through a congressional subpoena.
Can we include that the White House put pressure on us to censor the lab leak theory? That's the question Mark Zuckerberg asked in a group text with the top people at Facebook.
The former administration officials defending their actions.
To be sure, those companies are the ultimate decision makers about what goes on their platform. But that does not mean that communications staff cannot ask or even implore those companies to address misinformation on their platforms.
The requests from the White House included suppressing online discussions surrounding vaccine safety and efficacy.
Congressman, again, we were communicating the best medical research that we had at the time.
Meanwhile, AstraZeneca, a British pharmaceutical company, faces mounting lawsuits for side effects from their COVID vaccine. The company recently admitted the vaccine can cause a rare but deadly blood clotting condition known as TTS.
There has to be protection for those people who did the right thing when the government said it was safe and effective, time and time again.
AstraZeneca was not approved by the CDC for distribution in America, but it does raise questions about how much COVID-19 vaccine developers know and don't know about the products developed in rapid, stressful circumstances and the dangers of attempting to censor and shut down medical debate.
The powers that be went with the party line. At least in the U.S., a lot of these manufacturers are really kind of shielded from a lot of culpability, mainly because the government was such in a hurry to get these things out there.
The Supreme Court is currently weighing whether or not the Biden administration violated Americans' First Amendment rights by urging social media companies to pull down COVID-19 posts they deemed misinformation. I'm Kayla Gaskins reporting.
High inflation keeping interest rates high as well, likely throughout the summer. I'm Atrell Nashar in Washington with new insights from the Federal Reserve on where prices are headed.
I'm Janae Bones in Washington with a look at an organization changing veterans' lives through the power of flat.
And get going. Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Hurry. Deal ends Friday, May 10th.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Zander Insurance.
The Federal Reserve leaving key interest rates unchanged on Wednesday. That decision means the cost to borrow money for things like credit cards, car loans, and some mortgages will likely stay the same for a while. The central bank chairman Jerome Powell said that while inflation is still too high, the next move on rates will unlikely be a hike. The stock market closed mixed after that news. The Dow finished in the green, but the S&P 500 and Nasdaq fell. Meanwhile, a lot of businesses were hiring in April. The payroll firm ADP says private companies added 192,000 jobs last month. That's more than analysts were expecting, but fewer than the previous month. Well, Ford is recalling more than 240,000 Maverick vehicles. Apparently, a problem with a control module might deactivate the rear taillights, causing them not to illuminate. The models affected are from the years 2022 through 2024. That's business. I'm David Asman.
In the economy tonight, the Federal Reserve announces plans to hold the line on interest rates until there is proof inflation is coming down.
Fox 17 News' Atra El-Nashar has more on what the Fed wants to see.
The Federal Reserve's decision to once again leave interest rates unchanged came as no surprise given the recent series of hotter than expected inflation reports. The gauge the Fed watches closest shows inflation at 2.8%, so still a ways off from their ideal 2% rate. Now, unlike the Fed's last announcement, this time they said that there is a lack of progress toward that goal. At the same time, the Fed notes that economic activity continues to expand at a solid pace, thanks in large part to robust consumer spending.
We're committed to retaining our current restrictive stance of policy for as long as is appropriate. It's likely to take longer for us to gain confidence that we are on a sustainable path down to 2% inflation.
Chair Powell said it's unlikely that their next move will be to raise rates, so it's really a question of how long the Fed keeps rates this high, and that's impacting credit cards and anyone looking to buy a home or a car. The Fed's next meeting kicks off June 11th. In Washington, I'm Atra El-Nashar.
Well, tonight, honoring wounded and sick veterans, Fox 17 News' Janae Bowens has a look at an organization dedicated to the rehabilitation of military heroes through fly fishing.
Project Healing Waters has helped over 65,000 veterans. They're doing great work for men and women who have sacrificed so much.
Does it ever get any easier? Nope.
Mending the Line is a movie about a wounded Marine veteran who learns how to fly fish as a way of dealing with his emotional and physical trauma.
When I was out there on that water, I didn't think about anything else.
The movie feels a lot like Marine veteran John Jones's life.
Yes, you might get hurt. Yes, you might die. Yes, you might have people that have lost lives. And I never thought it would happen to me because I felt like, you're invincible whenever you're young.
Jones is affectionately known as Jonesy. He lost both of his legs during a combat tour in Iraq.
Is it your fault? Is it not your fault? And it all gets in your head.
Just like Mending the Line, fly fishing with Project Healing Waters has provided him a lot of healing too.
That really did do more therapy for me than the VA was actually able to give me the therapy.
Project Healing Waters activities are free for vets and no experience is needed. Since 2005, they have grown to almost 200 local programs across 48 states.
We serve between 6,000 and 7,000 veteran participants every single year. It's just a really powerful element to be outdoors. And when you share that, especially with veterans, you share that with your brothers and your sisters. There's a bond that's created there.
Jonesy is now the vice president of development for the organization. His life was changed, and he's trying to do the same for others.
Sitting there focusing on tying a fly is probably one of the best therapeutic sides of what we do for our vets.
Unfortunately, suicide is a leading cause of death for many veterans, especially ones under 45. A major focus of Project Healing Waters is to increase mental health for veterans through the power of community and fly fishing. I'm Janae Bowens reporting.
Warm day today, topping off at 87. I think we're going to be at least a couple degrees warmer for tomorrow, slightly warmer with temperatures near 89 degrees. Could be our first 90 degree day of the year, and an unsettled pattern beyond tomorrow. So we'll have one more sunny day to enjoy before the showers arrive late tomorrow evening, about this time, in fact. Record is 90 for May 2nd, so if we hit 90, we'll at least tie the record high set back in 1901. Thursday, looking at temperatures to climb quickly from the low 60s to 78. By 10 o'clock in the morning, up to 86 as we head into the afternoon. And looking at mainly sunny to partly cloudy skies with those highs again jumping into the upper 80s for the afternoon hours here. A little bit more cloud cover building in by Thursday night. That is setting the stage for this next rain chance that'll be on the way for Friday. Off and on showers for Friday morning. A few breaks as we head into the afternoon, with another chance for showers looking likely for Friday evening into early Saturday. Then through the weekend, we'll continue to see these pop-up showers. It'll be around Saturday, Sunday, and into Monday. All these chances, though, I don't see organized severe weather as a problem for us. Most of these should be non-severe. As always, we could always find maybe a couple scattered strong thunderstorms, talking about winds up to 60, or I should say 40 miles per hour, some heavy rain possible. But as far as numerous or organized severe weather, it's not on the table for us. So that's good news. As we head into the overnight tonight and into tomorrow, you can see that the showers will build in by Friday morning. So look, this is looking ahead to tomorrow night. Some moderate to heavy pockets of rain can't be ruled out for the beginning of the day. Then we get into the afternoon and you can see that we start to see sort of wave number one move out. A couple showers possible throughout the afternoon with a better batch of rain moving in by the evening hours. That'll be around through Friday night and likely a few showers lingering into early Saturday morning as we start the weekend. Again, some pop-up showers and thunderstorms by the afternoon, almost summer-like for us, where we see the potential for some heavy rain. Severe weather threat generally low, and they're of the pop-up variety where there really isn't an organized way that they're moving in, like along a line or anything like that. So we will be watching for those throughout the weekend. Isolated, it will be one of those scenarios where you may or may not end up with some of those showers for the weekend. Temperature around 64 for tonight. It remains pretty mild with a mainly clear sky. We're up to about 89 for the day tomorrow, with increasing cloud cover as we head into the later part of the day. Temperatures go from the upper 80s on Thursday to the low 80s Friday and Saturday, given the fact that we've got these showers and storms around. We do have a front coming through for Friday, and that will drop numbers as well. But we hang out in those 80s as we head through early next week. It is a little above average for this time of year, which is the upper 70s.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
It's been a foggy 24 hours in many places, from Rochester, New York, to a forest near Syracuse, and a valley near Chattanooga, Tennessee. This squall dumped rain and snow in western Montana, while this thunderhead or cumulonimbus produced a huge anvil cloud near Seattle. Meanwhile, a lonesome duck enjoys dawn along a quiet lake near Little Rock, Arkansas.
For more content like this, follow the National Weather Desk on TikTok.
And you can see more weather stories like this every weekday morning on the National Weather Desk. It starts at 8 a.m. on our sister station.
Get the all-new Tacoma, now arriving at your Toyota dealer.
Your summer starts here.
Toyota, let's go places.
This Fox 17 newscast is sponsored by Ponce Law.
We actually felt like we played two pretty good games in Nashville, but it doesn't really matter, right? We didn't get the win, so we knew nothing's going to be given to us. We gotta step up.
Preds able to stay alive and force a Game 6 against the Vancouver Canucks, which now sends the series back to Smashville. But just like Roman Josi said, nothing is going to be given to the Predators, and that's been the case in this unpredictable first-round series. Not only have both teams lost twice at home, but last night also marked the first game where the team that had the most shots on goal actually won the game. It's been a weird series. Good news is head coach Andrew Brunette said he thinks his team is getting better and better every game. Now they just need to put it together at home.
It's one game. Enjoy it for tonight and get back to work. There's a ton of work to do here. And we just want to have that mentality, just try to go home and play our best game and give ourselves the best chance, and we'll see what happens.
You know, you got to be a desperate team. We got to be desperate. Next game, we're still facing elimination. They want to close out in Nashville. So, yeah, it's just how playoffs work. I mean, momentum is big, but at the same time, you got to find a way to play even better the next game, and we got to do that next game to get another win.
It's been a fun 24 hours for the Preds, but especially the captain. Not only did Roman Josi score the power play goal last night, but today he was named a Norris Trophy finalist, one of 3 finalists. That's the award given to the best defenseman in the league, and well, you can see right there the stats speak for themselves. This is also the 3rd time he's been nominated, by the way. Well, we're still several months away from the college football season, but already the Vols sell out on tickets for the upcoming football season. Yes, I'm talking about 2024 season, and I'm talking all 70,500 of them gone. Clearly, head coach Josh Heupel doing something right on Rocky Top, because this is the 2nd straight year they've sold out of tickets before the summer even started. Vols actually led all of the SEC last year in total home attendance. They also ranked 3rd in the nation in that category as well. Tennessee will open up the season August 31st against Chattanooga, and that will be here before you know it. Jill Jelnick, Fox 17 Sports, your Code Red station.
Earlier in the newscast, we told you about our poll asking if you think the Preds will win Friday, forcing a Game 7. 289 votes, 59.5% say yes, 40.5% say no. Go Preds, and look for a new Fox 17 News poll on X tomorrow.
It is a courageous journey out of domestic violence. I'm Liz Bonis. See the pictures that literally changed her life. It is just ahead.
I'm Fox 17 Chief Meteorologist Katie Morgan. If you're new to Nashville, listen up. We're talking all things Middle Tennessee weather, including our tornado season and ways to keep.
Now, for a limited time, buy one, get one half off store-wide. Buy this sofa and get the love seat 50% off. Or get low monthly payments with no interest for 84 months. Only at Ashley.
In your health news tonight, new technology used in medical forensics helping victims of domestic violence see a path to a healthier future.
Fox 17 medical reporter Liz Bonis tonight tells us about one woman who says the tool really helped her to turn her life around.
Hey there, everybody. Hello to you. This brave young woman, her name is Justice, seen here with her 10-month-old daughter Nova, says a trip to the emergency room finally got her to take the first steps of a courageous journey to end a violent relationship.
It was a bad morning. He started to strangle me and tried to throw me around the house.
Eventually, Justice ended up here in front of this camera called the Cortex Flow in the emergency department at Tri-Health's Good Samaritan Hospital.
The camera made me realize that, because I used to downplay it. I didn't think that what he was doing to me was that bad because I couldn't see anything, and then I seen it and I had a breakdown.
The Cortex Flow is a camera designed for photos used in forensic medical examinations.
The Cortex Flow camera captures things that most cameras miss, especially in terms of strangulation, which is huge.
Once contrast is applied, forensic nurse Christine Hassert can see a photo, such as this one from Justice's neck, go from this to this. You can see the injury beneath the skin. That day gave Justice the courage to take legal action and get out of her relationship for good.
I feel like in that moment it just validated her, and I just think that's what everybody deserves in that moment.
You see, Justice was pregnant with Nova at the time.
I was 25 or 26 weeks.
She says seeing what she saw here made her want to save Nova's life and her own.
I love her. She saved me.
The team here says that's the purpose of these pictures.
It's really impactful to see how people's lives can turn around.
And there's a lot of resources that are out there that maybe a lot of victims may not know about. So a big goal for us is to make sure that we as nurses and our team can help advocate for these women who are having what could be the worst day of their life.
And speaking of advocates for women who may be in similar situations, here's what Justice wants you to know.
I want them to know that they're not in this alone. There's 100, maybe millions of other women that are going through something 10 times as worse or just as bad as you, and you don't have to sit. You don't have to settle.
Justice says if you need help to start your own courageous journey, you can text 88788 or call 800-799-7233. That's the National Domestic Violence Hotline. They do provide confidential support 24/7. By the way, these Cortex Flow cameras now in more than 600 hospitals, clinics, and military locations nationwide. With your health news, I'm Liz Bonus reporting.
All right, rain on the way. Timing it out for us, Katie.
Yep, tomorrow night, about this time, we'll be looking at rain on the radar. We'll have a nice day for the afternoon. It'll be a warm one with highs in the upper 80s, close to 90, but pretty unsettled beyond that. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and into Monday, a chance for showers.